What's up, everybody? Down South Don with the Unofficial Opinion Podcast. So we are back after a long hiatus, and so I am your host, Down South Don. This is my co-host.
Just Deidre.
So hey, we back in the building. So today we're just gonna talk about a few things. The main topic is the gig economy and how you can make money, ways people are making money, and how it also affects us based on the economy due to the things that are current events. So we're just going first off. Let's just shoot the shit. So
Okay.
let's talk about the workers and the shortage of workers right now. Um,
hmm
let's just say fast food workers. Let's start out there. So starting out with the fast food workers, there's a shortage. Now, who would have ever thought there would be a shortage of fast food workers? Factory workers, let's just say those that make under $15 an hour. There's a shortage. People are fed up. People are tired of working for peanuts.
I mean, wouldn't you be?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, people are just looking for an outlet. So, due to that shortage, as far as like the fast food industry, and people have kind of like looked to the other side, and that other side would be the gig economy, which would be let's name a few: DoorDash, Uber Eats,
Grubhub,
Grubhub.
Instacart.
Yeah, all these different ways. So if you think about it, if you saw a delivery driver, which some of, let's just say majority of the time, these guys in the fast food industry kind of look down on the gig workers, the drivers, and they treated them, some of them get treated less than fair, some of them treat them as less than. But the funny part about it was they was actually making more money than those that actually worked in the industry, the fast food industry, and them not really realizing, yeah, they get treated in a way.
I mean, to me, it doesn't make any sense because a lot of these people are quitting and becoming gig workers.
Well, they are
So,
now. That's the irony of it. So they would treat them differently when they come in, ask for the, for the orders or whatever, and kind of treat them differently, like they were annoying them or whatever. And it kind of changes because now most of them have taken up those jobs because they realize they didn't really know how much those guys were getting paid. And on average, a lot of them making over $200 a day. You don't even make that at $10 an hour. I mean, you're making, let's just say, even if you worked a 12-hour shift, you still wouldn't make what those delivery drivers would make.
but the problem is that if all of these people are quitting, I remember that one. I saw this one YouTube video where everybody quit at a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, it was a Burger King.
Yeah, like the same day.
Yeah.
So then when people call in those orders, I know Grubhub is big on fast food delivery. There's nobody working, so that everything's behind and delayed, and
Right.
it's messing up the gig that you're deciding to go to,
Right.
and it that in itself becomes a problem. And then they have too many people. It's a saturated market now. Like you've noticed that a lot of gig workers, they're not getting what they thought they could get because it's saturated now.
Yeah, definitely being saturated because everybody's jumped the jump ship and they want to be on the other side or be on the bigger boat. And it doesn't work that way. So we have to kind of find a way to balance this out.
There's not enough gig work for everybody.
Yeah. So now everybody and their granddad is over there gig working, whether it be Uber driving or, I mean, they canceled out the cab workers as far as with the Uber driving and the Lyft drivers. And it needs a balance.
All the technology, all the software companies. I mean, because that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Is software companies coming out and creating these ways that people can connect work. The problem is what you just said. It's displacing whole industries of people who had been doing it for hundreds of years.
Right.
Cab drivers, rental car companies,
Rental car companies for sure.
even food delivery. I'm sure used to be a kind of a corporate thing where people would open corporate
Well,
companies.
okay, think about it like this. So, um, pizza delivery drivers, for instance. Why work for a pizza delivery company or Pizza Hut, Domino's, when they're paying you minimum wage when you can just jump to the other side and do Grubhub? and you still get paid more per delivery versus, working for the pizza company itself.
Well, I think one thing is that you have a guaranteed shift, first of all. So you know that you're going to get paid a certain amount no matter what, and there's an hourly wage. And then also, if you're working at a Domino's, working at a Pizza Hut, you know that you're going to get those deliveries and you're going to definitely get those tips.
Well, the
So
problem with that is they're actually hiring delivery drivers on the other side.
when they're overwhelmed, but they always have
Not
someone.
necessarily, because if they order through those companies, then that order doesn't go to their delivery driver. If you order through Grubhub and, order through not Instacart, but if you order through Dash and any of these other companies, then they don't get that. Their delivery driver doesn't get that delivery. It goes through DoorDash.
Maybe I don't know enough about it.
So
I mean,
think about it. Why would they order through DoorDash and then give it to their delivery driver? It doesn't work like
I
that.
still don't understand why anybody's ordering pizza through DoorDash or Grubhub
Because
or
it pops
wherever.
up. It actually pops up on the menu. All the restaurants that
I
are
see
within the
it, but
area.
it doesn't make sense to me if they already have delivery workers.
You know why? Because they're stepping on their toes and taking over. Just that simple.
It might be cheaper to not have a delivery driver on hand all the time. I
Well,
mean, but I think the benefit, if there is the available, can't even talk, availability of that job, is the consistency. But then also on the other hand, Grubhub and DoorDash, they have a plethora of places that they can, get, I guess, trips from. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, trips, deliveries, whichever. And here's the other thing about it. So the fact that you're not actually tied to one particular industry when you are doing gig work is a beautiful thing. So I look at it like this: if and perfect example, and let's talk about truck drivers, for instance. So truck drivers doing these long deliveries. Now let's just say local drivers. So if you actually work for a local company, you're just running around town. On average, most of these companies may be paying $200 a day. Matter of fact, I've worked for a company that
Are
paid
they
$100. I said you have to be doing really good. So
Okay.
let's say, for instance, this one company, I won't name any names, but it was end dump work. For those who don't know what end dump is, it's the trailer that goes up in the air, dumps the dirt and rocks down, and you drop it and you go. So really, it's not intensive manual labor of any sort. It's pretty cut and dry. So you just go in, you do that, and you run about maybe 10 loads, say 7 to 10 loads a day. Just in order for you to do that, 7 to 10 loads on average, you're going to take home per day about $150, which is trash.
And how long are you working?
You're working 12 hours a day. And that's one of the reasons that a lot of people kind of get away from the trucking industry, because it just doesn't pay what it should. And the trucking industries are getting rich, but the problem is, yeah, you as a truck driver, you would have to literally own your own truck, be your own operator, and even then, sometimes it just don't add up. So why do that when you can go and you can deliver for one of these gig work companies or apps, whether it be Uber Eats, Dash, whichever, and make the same amount of money
Or more.
or more
Work less.
and work less, and you can quit for the day when you choose. That's beautiful.
Manage your schedule.
Manage your own schedule. You are a true owner operator with less fuel, less wear and tear on your vehicle, and you can actually just do it the way it needs to be done in your control.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good that comes with like work-life balance, and I think just people are reevaluating their values in general, and I
Right.
think that's the reason why so many people are quitting, and it's not just, food. So I know it's hugely food service and retail,
Right.
because those are low-wage jobs that aren't really keeping up with the cost of, inflation and just the cost of living in general. I mean, it's hard to get by on that. I mean,
Right.
especially in like the West Coast and further East Coast. So I understand that. But also in just regular corporate jobs where the demand for your time is so high. I am a person who has decided to make a change as well, but that's what's happening now, and I applaud that we're reevaluating our values.
Right. And so I guess moving on to the next aspect of the topic. So let's talk about the other side of gig economy. Turo, hire a car,
Yeah.
Avail, all these different rental car apps that have taken over the rental car industry, which we are a part of ourselves.
Is it a gig though anymore? It's kind of like a
Yeah, it's a business, but it's also, let's just say, a new world gig. It's different. It's something that you choose, that you're in control of, and it just works out a lot better for you as an individual because you get to reap those benefits that rental car company's been taking control of for so long.
Not only that, but you're turning. Okay, so first of all, if anyone would have told me that a car would become somewhat of an asset, other than for rental car companies who rent them out and they switch them out on a consistent basis, mostly leases a lot.
Right.
But the fact that you turned more of a liability, something that you're going to lose value on, into an asset. I mean, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So, and especially for those of you that are interested in doing something like this or have been thinking about it, so you're gonna have to at least get your credit score. I say anywhere from 650 to 700 and above. Let's just say 650 and above. For the better APR, let's just say 700. So get somebody to repair your credit. 720. Yeah, that's fine. But from my experience working at Harley Davidson and seeing the finances, how Harley used to do their financing, you're definitely looking at something along the lines of 680 to be fair, to get you in the door to where you need to be, to get the low APR, and you can basically get a vehicle with no money down. And that's pretty much where you want to be. You don't want to put in a lot of money just to say, oh, I put money down. And for some reason, a lot of people have that notion that you have to put money down in order to get a vehicle. All you're doing is basically, giving that down payment for that commission for the dealership and for the salesman. Don't do yourself like that. What do you want to say?
So, depending on the stat, I mean, yeah, there's a low investment to get in. You don't really have to make a big investment to get in, for sure. You can easily get a car for no money down. But on the flip side, if you do have cash and you want to make a larger financial investment in those cars, then I think having no overhead is ideal because all of the profit will be yours for years and years to come. And you'll make up for those. Because a lot of people, you can get, well, not right now because used cars went up like crazy. But I mean, before you could get a car for $8,000. So if you had 25,000 sitting around, you could get a decent amount of cars and make them assets and, profitable quickly.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said,
But
on
not
average,
everybody has that. Okay,
exactly. That's what I was getting to. So on average, yeah, keep your money in your pocket and do what's necessary as far as you can use that money to kind of upgrade your business. Make sure you get yourself an LLC through whatever means that you deem necessary. Set that LLC, whether it's up between you and another person or just by yourself. And once you get that LLC, you can do one or two things. You can do this and leverage your credit, your personal credit, which a lot of people do in the beginning, or you can just go ahead and set up your LLC and then build your business credit. But if you have to go through the process of building, which a lot of people don't really necessarily have time to do, then do it and leverage your personal credit through that LLC. I mean, through your personal credit, and get as many cars as you can. So let me tell you a little quick tip.
I did not know this was going to be this informational.
Yeah, why not? Just make it informational. So, I mean, that's what we in this for. So here's the thing. You go ahead and get as many cars as you can within that first, let's just say 20 days, because it used to be 30 days that they wouldn't report, and I've seen different. So within that 20 days, make sure you go to, let's say let's say, I hate to say even the name. Should I say the name?
No.
Okay. So let's just say the last name of this is last part of this company name is Max.
They're getting hip to it.
Yeah. So what you need to do, go get you at least 2 cars from Max. And I didn't say the name. And you go ahead and you get your 2 vehicles within a budget, let's say 2 $20,000 cars. And personally, I started with the smaller cars, the lower, let's just say 20 grand, 15 grand, somewhere in there. If you find something 10 grand that's worth renting, and here's the thing that you need to look at. Is it worth renting? Are people interested in what you're trying to put out for rent? Because if somebody just wants a beater, they can go to hire a car. But if you're going to put this on Turo, you probably want to get like a decent car, something that somebody wants to rent that's a little bit newer, 17 on up or whatever. Don't get nothing like 2014 or 12 because they might not even want to rent it. Sometimes people rent cars because they're interested in possibly buying that car. So that would be one of the reasons. And some people just want something economical that's clean and newer that doesn't look like, that doesn't smell like ass.
Yeah.
And people haven't just, let's put it like this.
Your car shouldn't smell like ass, even if it's older.
Exactly.
Just saying.
I mean, you just don't want the seats to look like they've been worn and butt cheeks have been formed in the seats. Yeah. So smelling like milk and all kind of other shit. Anyways, so
Formula.
Yeah, baby formula and all kind of stains in it. So let's just say 17 and up, find something newer, nice interior, something with the newer amenities like a nice head unit or radio that does have Bluetooth streaming and all this other stuff. So you at least want the updated amenities. Other than that, just something clean. It's not dented, beat up, whichever. So let's just stay within the $15,000 to $20,000 range. $20,000 will get you a real nice car, and with fairly low miles. Something that's economy, something that's easy to maintain. Don't go all foreign, and these tend to do well on the platform.
Can we just say honestly, this is the worst time to buy a used car? But okay.
Well, depends on where you go, and look up the Blue Book value. You kind of know how much overage that they're probably charging you. I probably got in right when it was just at the right time. The cars were not extremely overinflated, so it was a good time to get in.
Right. I do want to just do your research. Look at the car that you're buying. Make sure that it's something that someone actually wants to rent. And look at you can look at some statistics on what is renting on the platforms and what is not, and how many days about that they're renting, and then the price that you can get for them, and then looking at how much you're going to spend so that you can get an idea of the profit that you might make, because otherwise, then what are we doing this for?
Right.
So don't just go and buy random cars and think they're going to be profitable, because,
Well, look up Car Curator. Car Curator actually will kind of tell you and give you an idea. And that's usually, and Turo has their own, but there's also another company that has a website to where you kind of look up certain cars and see how they'll do and how many days it takes you to make the amount of money that you're trying to, make. So you're not going to get rich off of this. Now, if once you build your fleet past, 20, 30 cars, hey, you just might get rich, but you will be able to live off these cars. Once you get past 10, you can definitely live off of it.
I would call it extra income. I wouldn't say that you could live off of it, because most people are going to start with a small amount of cars. But like you said, if you get past a certain amount, maybe you can get, the type of income you want. I would personally, caution living off of it for a while.
Okay.
So that's just me. It's my unofficial opinion.
Right. So aside from that, and I'm just giving you the way to get into the gig. Like she said, do your own research, but telling you from my experience, start out small. Don't jump out there just because some people jump in and say, well, I've always wanted this, Porsche, or I always wanted this, exotic Z06 Vet and all this other stuff. And they get the cars, and just because it's what you want, it doesn't mean that it's somebody else's dream car. So that's something that you have to consider. If it's something that's widely desired, I should say. Say, for instance, perfect example, like a Tesla. You run across a Tesla that for a good price, if you've always been wanting one, keep in mind, yeah, it's a nice car, but the platform is saturated because it's one of those cars that everybody wants. So keep that in mind.
And the truth is, most people on the platform, and this is why it was the platform was created based on one of the founders. I was watching some sort of video on him.
The founder.
The founder. Sorry. He was explaining that the platform was created for people who want to supplement their payment on a car that they want. It just gives them an opportunity to make a little extra money on an extra car that they may have sitting around, like that old car that you paid off a long time ago, and now you're like driving something else. This platform, he said, was never created initially for people to start their own real businesses, but this is what is happening. So
Right.
just saying. So for the most part, most people aren't going to be doing this as a huge business that's going to really create their income.
Yeah, and some people just get it to, like I said, get their dream car just to help pay that car off. But if you're looking to get into it for a business, the best way to do it, just get as many vehicles as you can while you can, because your debt to income ratio is gonna be it's gonna be messed up in the beginning until you be able to sell or transfer these cars off to your corporation, and which was what I was speaking about earlier. So once you're able to do that, then keep in mind that your corporation can actually hold more weight and debt than you can as an individual. So it will allow you to transfer that debt, and you can get 20, 30, 50, 100 cars under that corporation's name. And that debt does not fall upon you as an individual. So it kind of just allows you to just be able to, dump that debt over and just leverage that credit. Once you leverage your credit, you kind of clean your credit up, and you put that burden on the corporation, which does not fall on you as an individual, because that corporation stands as
its own entity.
So anyway,
It is a person.
yeah, it's its own person. Whatever you may call it, it's up to you. Just make sure it works for you. Make sure you look up tax wise. Make sure you write all your vehicles off, because you can write these vehicles off and it'll work out. Do your research and it'll work out for you. We're not going to be that type of platform to where we discuss any tax information or whichever. Do your own research.
Yeah, we're not going to be liable for your choices.
Yeah, you're an adult. We're in an adult world. Own up to your own shit.
Yeah, go find some,
Yeah. So
some, legit information. I'm like, we don't have those credentials. So.
by the way, cameras up there.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So anyway, so just consider this. If you can get into this, get 2 cars at one place, which, let's say wherever it may be, 20 grand a pop, go to another place within that 20 days, and you can go online. There's, Vana. I'm not going to say a name, but you got that thing. You can go and get as many cars as you need to, as long as your income kind of.
I'm just listening.
What? Okay. So that income actually can kind of sustain that. But if they don't know that it's there, you can basically get in there and do your thing, get as many cars you need, and run with it. Now, you can go to some of these regular lots. Now, if you go to such and such Dodge or such and such Honda, they pretty much give you whatever you need, but they're not going to just give you 2 cars from jump. You need to get at least 1 vehicle from there, 1 vehicle from another place, and you can get up to probably 5, 6 cars. Who knows? But do it quick before any of them hit your credit, because once it hits your credit, then they know you got another vehicle, and you're done.
Let's just say, just for everyone, this is a big risk, and it's going to feel like a huge risk, because you are creating an amount of debt that you probably have never created before in your life, other than student loans possibly. But
Sounds personal.
Well, a little bit.
Okay.
Anyways, but so think this through. I mean, think it through. But I mean, you only have a certain amount of time to start getting this, making sure that you can put these on the platform. Sorry, I'm not looking in the right area.
Yeah.
My bad. But yeah, so really think it through. Make sure that these cars that you buy don't have a recalls, because that'll take you off the platform for weeks possibly. And then you won't be able to make the money, and then you'll be stuck with payments. So there's a lot of caveats. So just do your research.
And what she's talking about as far as getting
Okay.
off, being off the platform or get kicked off the platform, if your vehicle has a recall, Turo will actually kick you off the platform or basically subdue your listing until you get that recall fixed. Me personally, I went through that, going through it right now, and it was a simple recall. And there's nothing to say that if you bought a lemon or something like that, it's not really about it being a lemon. It's about it. It could be the smallest recall. I mean, just something simple like a seatbelt latch, and they'll take you off just because it was considered a safety risk. And you just fix it. You show the paperwork that it's been fixed, and once it's showing that it's been fixed, they'll put you back on the platform. Now, for more of the, let's say, hire car, I'm going to say the difference. So the Turo platform is kind of like more for the more reliable. I ain't going to say reliable. Should I say reliable?
Nope.
No. And let's just say for the newer cars. People buy for hire car, they normally, if it's a car that you done had in the less desirable rentals, that people just need a car and they want to rent something for long term, like a month, or if their vehicle's been in the shop, getting maintenance and they want to keep it for a month, 2 months, 6 months. That's what hire car would be for. From my understanding, the Vail platform itself is probably not the best for you to reach out, because they pay you like $20 a day, $25 a day,
Not super
and
profitable.
you leave. No, it's not. And you're basically just leaving your car at the airport. They wash it, clean it for you, and all you getting paid is $20-something a day. That's like not even worth it. So the hire car, if you don't mind the vehicle being, let's just say, being gone for a long time, and it's not a vehicle that you really care about as much. Say if it's something that's been paid off.
That's what I was about to say. That's the platform where you put some of your cash cars that you can keep rented out.
Auction cars, whichever, that doesn't have, safety issues. That would probably be the platform. Now you still probably want to get like a a tracker put on your vehicles.
Always.
Because sometimes, dealing, from my experience, when you're dealing with people in this industry, they tend to feel like they're not as liable because you're an individual, versus if this was, Hertz rental car or Avis or whoever, maybe, excuse me, then they feel like, oh, I can pretty much get over on this person. It's just an individual, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes they won't respect you as much, and then you end up having to show them different. Put a tracker on your vehicle. If not just a tracker, actually I do have one here. So this tracker, I don't know if you can see it. It's small. You charge it right here on this port. Here, let me see if I can open this up. Yeah. So you take that, you charge it. It's a puck. So you basically take this puck. Now this is for waterproofing. So let me put that back in there. Now this is for the Jeep. I just marked it like that. But anyway, it's a puck. It's magnetic. Stick it on the vehicle, and you can pretty much track them either somewhat real time. In order to save battery, you set it up for like it reports every 30 seconds, every minute, blah, blah, blah. And you're in control of the settings. You can put as many of those on your particular platform as you choose for each and every vehicle. And that runs me about $15 a month if you get the discount. If not, it's about $20 a month. And putting that on each and every one of the vehicles kind of give you a peace of mind, because if they choose not to bring it back on time, at least you know exactly where it is, and you have to report it to the police, then you're good to go. Now, the other ones actually have, let's see, I actually have one right here. Just a second.
You want me to get?
All right. Get back in. Get back in the platform. All right. So now this one is actually, I don't know if you can see it. Stay in the focus.
Go and
Okay, TrackMate. So the TrackMate actually is a hardwired situation, and this one you hardwire into the vehicle, and basically
kill switch.
It's a kill switch. So this allows you to kill it. If they don't want to bring it back, you gave them as many warnings as possible and say, hey, man, bring my car back, blah, blah, blah. And they want to still continue to ride and pretend that you don't exist, you hit them with the kill switch. Mm-hmm. The car dies, and they have to leave it basically where they are. Now, worst thing come to worst, okay, yeah, you get your car back, but you might lose the keys. They might chunk your keys and throw them in the river. Just being pissed. So have an extra set of keys on each and every one of your vehicles, and that should solve that problem. And worst come to worst, you charge them for incidentals on your keys. Now, some of the keys now, the smart keys that are keyless entry and all that other stuff, those are going to run you on average about $500, $400 or $500. So it'll be worth it. Mm-hmm. So if all you got to do is come up with that, or you just charge them for it, then it is what it is. I don't think you really have anything to worry about. So I'm going to leave it at that as far as the tracking. But those are some of the things that you have to do in this business.
Yep. Not much for me to say. You just took that on, you know.
I
just believe I'm risk averse, and you are, you'll jump in if you see the profit there. So
yeah, I'm definitely about taking risks because you got one life to live. Yeah, sometimes you just got to push it. You got to take chances. And if I got to roll the dice and be like, hey, if it craps, I'm a win.
I'm going to backtrack on that. I'm not risk averse. I like to look at the numbers, and if they make sense, they make sense. But definitely not risk averse. I'll take a risk, but it has to make sense. Make it make sense.
Okay. But
sorry.
Once again, camera's up there.
Okay. Yeah. So, camera's like in a weird
in case
position.
You guys don't know, she's looking at herself on the monitor.
I'm looking at you.
Oh, okay, but I'm right here.
I know, but if I look at you, then I'm definitely turned around and they definitely can't see me. So sorry.
All right, so camera's there, and anyway,
I'm talking to you.
So I just wanted to basically give you guys a quick tip on the gig economy. There are different ways to make money. There are different ways to not have to deal with, going into a job every day, but always keep a couple of hustles. Mm-hmm. And hopefully you got something from this video. Did you want to bring anything else about the gig economy?
No, I'm just curious to see where everything is going to land, where it all is going to, the dust will settle, and see where are we. Obviously the wages are going up. I'm curious about how much are we going to have a wage increase and the standard, and then just trying to figure out where all these people are going to land, because not everybody can just gig.
Right. And it's oversaturated as far as the gigs are concerned right now, because I know with DoorDash and Uber Eats, it's so saturated in certain areas. Everybody's quit. They prefer to jump on their own, which I can't blame them, but everybody can't go to the same damn, the hot spot and make money all in the same place. There has to be an even keel somewhere.
For me, my thing, I work in sales and tech, and I see a lot of movement in that area too. A lot of people are quitting and moving to different jobs. There's a lot of opportunity, and I think in those areas, some of the professional areas, I'm not saying none of the other ones aren't professional. They call them professional services. So, right. But I see that people have changed how they think about work, and the best way of working for a lot of people is having more autonomy and working from home and all these things. So I think the whole world has changed in the way that they view what's valuable and what's important to them in their lives, and work has to have changed with it. So I'm just curious to know what's going to happen to all these office buildings that are going to lay empty.
Probably use them for something else. Who knows? Maybe turn into apartments. We'll see. But yeah, things are changing, and we're actually coming up on a different wave of, you know, this situation that set us back in 2020. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to get demonetized, but yeah, prepare yourself for another wave, and if it comes about, you know, have a couple of streams of income. That way you won't be just sitting there left holding the bag.
Yeah.
So we're gonna end it on that note, and make sure you guys be sure to like, subscribe. Let's get our subscribers up. This is new to us on this channel in
It's
particular.
obviously new to me. I don't
Yeah.
know where to look. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, and for those that like motorcycle content and everyday general, you know, topics as far as, you know, my life, check out Down South Don on YouTube as well. And be sure to, like I said, send us your comments. Tell us what you think about this gig economy, and let's talk about it. We will start doing live shows. We're going to try and set it up possibly for Fridays at around 7 o'clock. That way we can kind of, you know, converse with you guys and talk about the things that are to come, and then give you guys a topic in general, and we stick to that topic and we roll with it from there.
We'll try to stick to the topic.
Yeah. So anyway, Down South Don and
Just Deidre.
we out.